Okay, so we've got our basic forms put together. Our next stop is this situation right here where we've got it kind of blocked out for what we need, and then obviously we're heading to this. So I'm going to put this one off to the side, and we're going to talk about how to get to this point. So I've got my two pieces slipped and scored together. First thing I'm going to do is mark. Again, I'm not cutting. I'm going to mark halfway down that block so you can see what I've got there. Next thing I'm going to do is find the middle of the top of the block here, and I'm going to measure so that I've got a 1/2 inch wide line there. So I'm going to erase that middle piece now. So 1/2 inch. I'm going to carry those measurements up the front of the face. This is going to help show where I need to chop this off so that it looks like that one. So I'm going to draw a line. Same thing here from that corner to that point. So that's why I drew the line halfway across, so I know what needs to be cut off. So we're going to cut this piece off. I'm trying not to cut into the face back there. So a little bit of back and forth. Get that piece to pop out of there. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of blend that in. Make sure it looks good. So now what we're going to do is work on the sides just a little bit. So I'm going to flatten the sides just a tiny bit. Skull normally is not as round as we made our spheres, so just a little bit on the sides there, pushing that in. Next thing I'm going to do is use kind of this spot right here. So this is where I had the top of that block. I've got kind of a line going across there. That's my reference for where the eyes are going to be. So again, you can see that on this one. So I'm going to use my thumbs to create these eyes. So making sure right on the edge of that, I'm going to push in to create those eye sockets. And you know, you may not get it on the first try, but your goal is to try to make it symmetrical. So if you feel like you want them a little bit bigger, or you have smaller thumbs than I do, you can work that. And again, your goal is to make that symmetrical. Next thing I'm going to do is work on getting the face, this part with the teeth, to match up a little bit better. So I'm going to hold this up so you can kind of see what I'm doing from the top. Looking down from the top, again, if I kind of look down the middle of the eye there, just drawing a light line, I'm going to cut this triangle straight down and off. And again, I was holding it in my hand to do that, but so you could see what I was doing. But that is kind of our next step here. So now I'm going to go back through, clean some things up, and I'm going to save this little triangle that I cut off of here, and I'm actually going to add some of that on here for the nose. So that's way too much. I'm going to continue to trim this down until I like the fit of that. Okay, and it's a little crooked. Make that a little nicer before I add it on there. Okay, so should go, you know, halfway or a little bit more up the eye there. So I'm going to slip and score that piece on. Once I do that, then I'll be ready to start some of the detail features. So slip and score that in, go back through, kind of blend and smooth some of this stuff out a little bit, and then we'll talk about how to add the nose hole that you can see on this one, and the teeth and those sort of things. All right, go team.